What's up, listeners? Welcome to Podcast Center, the show that makes English learning exciting, fun, and oh so relevant. I'm Marco, your go-to guy for mastering English with confidence.
And I'm Katharina, your guide to discovering how English fits into your life, whether you're watching trending shows, scrolling TikTok, or diving into today's hottest topics. We've got you covered.
Oh, you bet. This isn't just any podcast, it's your one-stop shop for learning English through the latest trends, real-life tips, and a whole lot of energy.
And here's the best part. Whether you're practicing your pronunciation, building your vocabulary, or just looking for inspiration, we're here to make English learning a blast.
So grab your headphones, get comfy, and let's dive into the world of English with a trendy twist. Ready to spark your learning journey? Let's do this!
Welcome to Podcast Center, your daily dose of English, delivered with style.
All right, Katharina, let's get right into it. So here's something I've been thinking about lately. Have you noticed how everyone is talking about AI tools like ChatGPT and how they're changing the way people learn languages?
Oh, absolutely, Marco. AI tools are everywhere right now, and honestly, they're such a game changer for English learners. For example, you can practice conversations, ask for grammar explanations, and even get a say feedback call in real time.
Exactly. And here's a quick tip for our listeners. When using AI tools, try asking it to rephrase sentences you don't understand or explain difficult words. It's like having a pocket tutor 24/7.
I love that. And you know what's even cooler? AI tools can help with pronunciation too. You can type out a tricky word, play the audio, and practice repeating it. It's such a handy way to perfect your accent.
Totally agree. Speaking of accents, have you seen those viral TikToks where people compare British and American English pronunciations? They're so entertaining and educational too.
Yes, and that's another tip. If you're unsure which pronunciation to use, focus on one British or American, whichever you like. But don't stress too much about sounding perfect. Being understood is what really matters.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And while we're on the topic of trends, let's talk about how pop culture can make learning English way more fun. Have you seen how people are recreating iconic lines from movies like Wednesday or Stranger Things?
Oh, I love those. They're not just fun, but also a great way to learn conversational phrases. Like, if you're recreating Wednesday's line, I find socializing exhausting. You're practicing tone and vocabulary at the same time.
Exactly. And listeners, here's a challenge for you. Pick a line from your favorite show or movie, practice saying it out loud, and try to mimic the actor's tone. It's such a fun way to improve your intonation.
That's such a great challenge, Marco. And speaking of mimicking actors, let's talk about music for a second. Have you noticed how songs like Flowers by Miley Cyrus or Unholy by Sam Smith are everywhere right now? They're perfect for practicing pronunciation and rhythm.
Oh, absolutely. Singing along to your favorite English songs is such a fun way to improve your pronunciation. Plus, it helps you get used to contractions and casual speech, like in I'm gonna or I'll be, and the rhythm, it's a bonus for your fluency.
Exactly, and here's an idea. Look up the lyrics, sing along, and focus on how the words connect. For example, in songs, going to often sounds like gotta, and want to becomes wanna. It's an easy way to get familiar with natural speech patterns.
That's gold, Katharina. And you know what else is trending? Podcasts, of course. Did you know that a lot of English learners use true crime or motivational podcasts to practice listening? They're gripping, and you pick up so many useful phrases.
Oh, I'm obsessed with true crime podcasts. And here's a tip for our listeners. When you're listening to a podcast, pause after a sentence and try to repeat it. It's called shadowing, and it's amazing for improving both your listening and speaking skills.
Great tip. And if you're feeling adventurous, try listening to a podcast without subtitles for the first time. Even if you don't catch every word, you'll train your brain to understand the flow of the conversation.
Yes, and let's not forget about YouTube vlogs. Travel vlogs, especially, are full of everyday English phrases like, "Let's grab a bite," or "This place is amazing." They're so relatable and perfect for building a natural vocabulary.
Spot on, Katharina. And while we're talking about relatable content, memes and reels are another underrated resource. Have you seen how people are using phrases like "that's a vibe" or "I'm dead"? Learning slang through memes is so much fun.
Oh my gosh, yes, memes are like a crash course in modern English. But here's the tip, if you don't understand a meme or slang, don't just skip it, look it up. That's how you stay up to date with what native speakers are saying.
And memes often come with cultural context, so it's like killing two birds with one stone. You're learning the language and the culture. For example, memes about coffee culture might teach you phrases like "need my caffeine fix" or "not before my morning coffee."
That's a good one, Marco. And for our foodies out there, let's not forget trending recipes on platforms like Instagram or Pinterest. Following recipe videos in English is a tasty way to pick up cooking-related vocabulary.
Oh, definitely. Words like whisk, salt, or even phrases like "a pinch of salt," they're super useful. Plus, at the end of your learning session, you get to eat something delicious. Win-win.
Speaking of recipes, Marco, what's your favorite English phrase for cooking?
A dash of this, a pinch of that. It's such a fun way to describe small amounts.
Love it. Mine is seasoned to taste. So simple, but it feels so pro.
Totally. And food shows are a gold mine for learning instructions like "stir gently" or "let it simmer."
Oh, for sure. And let's not forget street interviews on YouTube. So many casual phrases to learn.
Absolutely. Like, "what's the vibe here?" Or "how do you feel about this?" Great for conversations.
Yes, and you can repeat their answers to practice speaking naturally.
Also, watch for fillers like "you know," "kind of," and "like." They make speech sound real.
Good one, and Marco. How about trends like life hacks on TikTok?
Perfect for vocab. Phrases like "life-changing" or "a total game changer" pop up all the time.
Exactly, plus the captions often break things into easy steps. Great for learners.
Right, and let's not forget sports commentaries. Exciting and packed with action phrases.
True, words like score, assist, and penalty are so common even outside sports.
And you can mimic the excitement to work on your intonation, like "what a goal."
That's fun, and it helps with expressing emotions in English too. Marco, have you noticed how social media loves challenges like 30-day habits?
Oh, totally. And phrases like "stay consistent" or "build momentum" are great to learn.
Yes. And learners can describe their progress in English, like, "I'm on day 5.
Exactly. Journaling about it in English is a great way to practice writing to.
Absolutely, and trends like "what's in my bag?" Videos, great for vocabulary.
Oh, for sure. Words like lip balm, wallet, and even reusable tote are so useful.
And they're fun. You can even make your own list to practice describing items.
Speaking of lists, bucket lists are trending too. So many verbs to learn, like explore or hike.
Totally. And learners can create their own bucket lists in English. Easy and personal.
Yes, it's a great way to practice future tense. "I want to visit," or "I will try."
Oh, and travel vlogs are full of gems like Hidden Gem or Off the Beaten Path.
Right? And expressions like "worth the trip" or "must see" are super common.
Exactly. Watching these helps with descriptions and storytelling.
And it's fun too. You can retell the vlogger's journey in your own words.
Marco, have you seen those viral Get Ready With Me videos?
Oh yeah, great for learning fashion terms like layering, casual look, or statement piece.
Exactly, and phrases like throw on a jacket or pair it with sneakers are so handy.
Totally. You can even try describing your outfit in English as a practice.
Good idea. And fitness trends, full of phrases like warm up, cool down, and push through.
Yes, plus motivational lines like don't give up or you've got this are super encouraging.
And learners can use those phrases in their daily routines to build confidence.
For sure. Oh, and DIY videos are another goldmine. Words like measure, cut, and assemble are so useful.
Definitely. Plus, step-by-step tutorials are great for practicing sequencing words like first, next, and finally.
Exactly. And you can even narrate your own DIY process to improve fluency.
Oh, and let's talk about reaction videos. They're perfect for expressions like no way or that's insane.
Yes, and phrases like I didn't see that coming or that's so relatable are everywhere.
Exactly, mimicking those reactions can really help with sounding natural.
And it's fun too. You get to practice emotions and tone at the same time.
Marco, have you tried quizzes like what kind of friend are you online?
Oh, yes. Great for learning descriptive adjectives like loyal, outgoing, or thoughtful.
Right, and the results often have fun sentences you can study or rewrite.
Exactly. It's a mix of fun, personality, and learning rolled into one.
Marco, one thing I've noticed is how popular morning routine videos have become. They're perfect for learning time-related vocabulary and daily habits.
Absolutely, Katharina. In those videos, you hear phrases like start my day with, set my intentions, or even grab a quick breakfast. They're so practical because they're things we all do.
Right, and learners can easily practice describing their own routines. For example, I wake up at 7 a.m., make coffee, and plan my day. It's such a simple but effective way to improve sentence structure.
Exactly. And it's not just routines. A lot of these videos also include phrases about mindset, like focus on positivity or set achievable goals. It's great for picking up motivational language.
Totally agree. And another trend I love is travel packing hacks. You get to learn so many practical words like essentials, carry-on, and compression bags.
Oh, I love those. And they often use phrases like roll your clothes or pack light. Plus, you can practice organizing your own stuff and describing it in English. Like, I'm packing my toiletries, shoes, and outfits for the week.
Yes, it's such a creative way to make learning hands-on. Oh, and speaking of hands-on, what about gardening or home improvement videos? Words like prune, plant, and water regularly are great additions to anyone's vocabulary.
Oh, for sure. And the instructions are often very visual, so even if you don't know the words, you can guess from the context. Then, you can practice sentences like, I need to repot this plant or the paint needs to dry overnight.
Exactly. It's such a fun way to combine vocabulary with real-life activities. And since we're talking about hobbies, what about book reviews? They're trending, and you pick up so many descriptive phrases like page-turner, unputdownable, or even a slow burn.
Book reviews are amazing for learners who love to read, and they help with expressing opinions too. You can say things like, I loved the characters, or the plot was unpredictable. It's like practicing both speaking and writing at the same time.
Right, and if reading feels too advanced, learners can start with audiobooks. Listening to how the narrator emphasizes words is a great way to work on pronunciation.
Audiobooks are gold, and they're perfect for picking up new expressions. I recently heard take it one step at a time in one, and it's stuck with me. It's such a useful phrase.
That's a good one. And Marco, another trend I've seen is people sharing productivity hacks. Phrases like time blocking, prioritize your tasks, or stay on track are so common now.
Oh, yes. And those videos often include steps like create a to-do list or eliminate distractions. They're so relatable and easy to incorporate into your own routine while practicing English.
Marco, before we wrap up, I want to ask you what's your favorite way to stay motivated while learning English?
Great question. For me, it's about setting small, achievable goals. Like, I'll focus on learning 5 new words a day and then use them in a conversation. It keeps me on track without feeling overwhelmed.
That's such a practical approach. I love breaking down big tasks too. Sometimes I'll just watch a quick video or listen to a song, and it feels like progress, even if it's just a few minutes.
Exactly. And it's all about enjoying the process. The more you enjoy it, the easier it becomes. Like watching your favorite show in English or reading a book you love, it doesn't feel like a chore.
Totally, and I've noticed that engaging with the language in a fun way makes me more excited to learn. It's the small, consistent efforts that pay off in the long run.
You're so right. Even something as simple as following an English-speaking influencer or joining a challenge can boost your confidence and help with learning.
Speaking of challenges, we've talked about a lot of them today, like mimicking phrases from shows, participating in viral trends, and even singing along to songs. They all give you a real, practical way to improve.
Exactly. And as long as you're practicing and pushing yourself, there's no wrong way to learn. So whether it's through social media, music, or podcasts, there's always a chance to pick up something new.
And don't forget to make it a part of your everyday routine. Even on days when you don't feel like it, just a few minutes of practice can make a huge difference.
Couldn't have said it better, Katharina. So, before we officially wrap up, any last piece of advice for our listeners?
Yes, don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the learning process. The more you speak, write, and immerse yourself in English, the more confident you'll become.
I couldn't agree more. All right, listeners, keep learning and embracing the journey. We'll be here next time with even more tips to help you along the way.
And don't forget, if you have any questions or suggestions for topics you'd like us to cover, drop them in the comments below. We're always excited to hear from you.
That's right, and we promise we'll keep bringing you fresh ideas and ways to make learning English fun and easy. Whether it's through new trends, challenges, or just simple, everyday tips, we've got you covered.
Exactly. Your feedback means a lot to us, and we want to keep bringing you the best content. So make sure you stay tuned for more amazing episodes.
Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed today's podcast. See you next